Alright, so we're in day 75 of just pretty much exclusively unpacking Guy Hudson's fucking mess. Like, oh my god. You pain in my ass. Okay, so where we left off, we were looking at Roottree France. Because he just spanned the globe and left babies everywhere. Maybe. At least some of them, probably. Or this whole... What if this entire thing was a fucking red herring and his entire tour of the world had no babies? Roottree France is one of the companies created to manufacture and distribute Roottree candy. It was developed as part of the Roottree Everywhere initiative in summer 1979. Really consistently that year, huh? Apparently Roottree France was a non-starter. Negotiations broke down pretty late in the process, after the company had already been formed, and then the leadership of Roottree went through a very large change soon after. The CEO of Roottree France is meant to be Tristan Robert. A large change soon after. What year was that? I thought it was like 82 or something, wasn't it? I'm bad at keeping track of the timelines and anything ever, though. Tristan Robert is a businessman who, at one time, was in negotiations to take over Roottree France. He is still alive, and you come across an interview unrelated to Roottree from a few months ago. It seems that other countries have not been immune to Rootreemania, as he recognized the word Roottree in one of the questions. It seems the interviewer snuck in a question about his experience with the company at the end of the 70s. The article's in French, and he takes some time to translate section by section. He mentions Guy by first name only, and the tale he tells is quite ugly. Translation is as follows. Guy, the president of Roottree, was one of the worst men I have ever met. He approached my wife about having an affair, which she refused. He then kept insisting that this was the best way to celebrate the end of our business contract. I don't think he expected her to say no. And I don't think he thought she would tell me what happened. I punched him in the face and refused to attend another meeting with this man. They lost a lot of money on this deal because not only was he a terrible person, but he was also a terrible businessman. When he died shortly after, it felt like the universe was working things out. I wasn't surprised to learn he had a secret child. He seemed to treat women like collectible pocket monsters. Wow, a Pokemon reference? Weird. It seems mentioning Pokemon sidetracks the questions a bit, and the interview never returns to the subject of Roottree. Wild. Okay, I gotta Google Pokemon again real quick. When did Pokemon fucking start? 1997. That's the animated series. Hang on a second. Open the Master Wiki. 1996. Red and Green 1996, and then the show started in 1997. Okay, and then it took the world by storm. Yeah, I remember. My first Pokemon was Pokemon Yellow, and then I played Silver. And I watched at least up until Pokemon Johto. I remember Tracy replacing Brock, I think. I also liked the theme song to Johto better than the first theme song. Because I'm always evil contrarian boy. Alright, so this sounds like a definitive rejection of it happening. There's no mention of Tristan having a son or daughter. So we don't really have somebody to be like, haha, that person is a fake baby or something. You're calling them fake babies. I don't mean to call them all fake babies. It's just funny. All right. Let's see here. The two that I inserted is that both of these fit the format. The final affair was probably back at home. We still know nothing about it. But these two seem like they might be something to look into. This is totally me kind of cheating by just the fact that they give me a tree preemptively somehow, which doesn't make any diegetic sense. And so I can reasonably conclude that these two might fit because they fit the overall profile. So let's go back to Lang Xinyu. Xinyu. Helped her sister have a child. So logically, that means that she had a baby. she held the baby because she's the one that had the affair with Guy. But then that means that the baby was probably raised by her sister, and that's their cover story. I clicked on the same article twice, didn't I? Hygienes. What was her name? It's probably in the journal. Chinyao. I don't think I looked up a page about her specifically yet. Piece of Asia is the American... Oh, I didn't look up that either yet. Damn. I left some loose ends that I forgot about. I was wondering about Piece of Asia. Piece of Asia is a weird way to spell that. At first I was like, peace in Asia? Like, yay, peace. But then it's peace phrase as in peace, the word, like you get a piece of something. Piece of Asia. Yeah, it's a weird way to explain. It's a weird way for me to explain it, because I'm just reiterating the phrasing that's already there. Piece of Asia is the American arm of LangTai, located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. According to their site, Tai, the Tai in LangTai translates to peaceful, so they chose their name in America to match. There are a lot of companies listed here, too many to investigate, as very few of them seem to have any relevance. It seems Piece of Asia is nearly as accomplished as LangTai. They offer fabrics and cloths at wholesale prices. You don't spot anything out of the ordinary. The business is said to be owned by husband and wife Jerry and Linda Han. Their Chinese names are listed too, and from using an online translator, Jerry is Han Junwei and Linda is Lang Xin Yao. So that's her. She's Linda Han, so I can find out her local name. Jerry, Linda, and Mark Han appeared recently on a website called Focus on Philanthropy. I don't like that it's spelled like that. That's super annoying. Under the headline, Hanging with the Hans. The Hans were chosen because they donate significantly to causes that further Chinese American culture. Jerry and Linda were both born in China and fell in love during college. Linda's father led a large company. This article never names it. After it expanded in the US, Linda's father approved their marriage so long as Jerry took over the US portion of the business. Linda jokes that the entire situation is like something out of an Alanis Morissette song. It's because of how ironic it all ended up. It's like rain. I listened to Alanis Morissette back then, and I didn't even remember Ironic was a song. Like, it's the meme one that everyone brings up now. But like, there was so many other songs that I actually liked by Alanis Morissette, and Ironic was not even one that I remembered existed. Although I did incorrectly identify a song as being by Alanis Morissette in the Dispatch playthrough as fun trivia for you Keith heads. I don't like that. With how ironic it all ended up. I was absolutely terrified to move to the US, but my big sister was desperately in love with the idea. She used to have this Butch Cassidy poster on her wall and was obsessed with Robert Redford. But somehow, Jerry and I were the ones that were sent here, and now we couldn't possibly imagine going back. When we had Mark, we never even considered giving him a traditional name. Meanwhile, his sister stayed in China. My sister has stayed in China and thrived here. She doesn't even like visiting the US anymore. Our kids are complete opposite though. Mark couldn't wait to travel abroad as soon as he was old enough. He's actually in business school in China now, working for my sister. Our niece, who grew up there, was the opposite. He couldn't wait to get here. She started calling herself Lucy Lang in high school and flew out here as soon as she graduated. The name change apparently drove my sister absolutely loco. Ha ha ha. Our niece, who grew up there, was the opposite. Linda's father led a large company. It's not mentioned here. They have a niece. Huh. I'm a little confused. Okay, like, do I need to read this whole thing? When did the niece start getting mentioned? Jerry, Linda, and Mark Hahn appeared in the blah blah blah. Focus of Lancer hanging the Hans. Chinese American culture. Large company. U.S. portion of the business. Alanis Morissette. I didn't want to move to the U.S. My sister did. I don't think I need to look into Robert Redford. Jerry and I are the ones who were sent here. Couldn't imagine going back. We had Mark. We never even considered giving him a traditional name. My sister stayed in China. It doesn't say that her sister had a baby. Our kids are complete opposites, though. Mark couldn't wait to travel abroad as soon as he was old enough. Our niece, who grew up there, is the opposite. Couldn't wait to get here. Did she have a second kid? Because that fucks everything up. Huh. Let's highlight this all for now. Also, it's a nightmare that I had all these tabs about different topics, but then I put global as its own thing, thinking that this initiative was just going to be one particular lead on a family. But now so many potential families are tangled up in this that it might all... It's like the longest page I've ever probably made in any folder or something. Let's see. Mark Hahn? Jerry, Linda, and Mark Hahn apparently appeared recently on a website called Focus on Philanthropy. Same page, okay. Lucy Lang. Lucy Lang is not exactly a common name, but it's not the most uncommon you've come across either. There are a few that come up with any searches without any search. There are a few that come up with any searchable details, but it might be possible to narrow down your possibilities. A Lucy Lang is mentioned on a robotics website as part of Team Talonclaw. Talonclaw are one of the only two teams from the US participating in a new robot-based show on the UK. Another Lucy Lang is part of a small women's a cappella group. The A is on its own. Is that how that works? In Los Angeles called the Gin and Tonics. A third Lucy Lang works in New York for a business called Corporate Synergetic Solutions Unlimited. So robotics, a cappella, or corporate synergy. Loco. Oh, the logo's not in quotes. That's just this whole 3-paragraph thing is in quotes. Don't you usually, when you have a multiple paragraph quote, don't you normally have each paragraph start with the quote, but then not end it? Or is that outdated? But yeah, I saw the quote around loco and thought that loco was significant in some way, but I think that's just how some people in the 90s talked. I don't think we don't know enough about Lucy Lang to know what we're dealing with here, so I think I just need to look at them all. Team Talonclaw. Team Talonclaw is the robotics club in Mid-Eastern University. Ooh, is that you? We made it back to the fucking Heterold and its stupid name. Team Talonclaw is the robotics club of Mid-Eastern University. Their robot, also named Talonclaw, has been selected for appearance on the second season of a British television show focused on robot fighting. A small blurb mentions that robot fighting leagues have existed for a few years, but there have been recent moves to televise it. Talonclaw was one of the 2 teams selected from the US. The robotics club has a text-only site you can find linked from the university's student section. The site seems like it's used mostly to announce the schedule to its members. The club is supposed to meet every Tuesday and Thursday, but the last 8 dates have all been cancelled because a few members of the team are currently in the UK filming. Another date from a few weeks back was cancelled for an interview with the school's newspaper. At the bottom, the traveling members of Talonclaw are listed as team members Jaya Patel, with supporting members Lucy Lang and Kurt Hauser. The header rolled is a story about their school's robotics team, Team Talonclaw. It lists 3 student members and talks a bit about each of their history, including their interest in robotics. The only one that catches your attention is Lucy Lang. She grew up in China as Min Lang, but came to the US specifically to attend university. Context on Lucy Lang. She said she grew up around factory-scale machines that assembled products that would be shipped all over the world, and that moving parts and automation fascinated her. However, as she has progressed through her major, she has become obsessed with smaller, more powerful hydraulics, such as the mechanism that closes Talonclaw's weapon. In addition to robotics, she loves linguistics. One of her hobbies since coming to the States has been collecting accents. In her spare time, she practiced not only removing any trace of her native inflection, but she also quickly switching between multiple different regional accents. She feels her personal best as the Southern Belle, but her favorite is the Valley Girl due to its use in pop culture. And then there's a picture. Not that one. That one. Is that you? Are you the one? This is a photo of Lucy Lang, aka Lang Min, with Talonclaw, the robot she worked on at Mid-Eastern University. You found it in the school's newspaper. Huh. So right now the question is, which child is it? Also, is that you? Are they related? It's so little face to work with. Is that Shinyu? I need to find... Oh god, where was that story? Wait, it's just literally pictured here, which would help. Nope. I mean, she looks like a worker. Oh, flower on the back of her hand. We haven't had a connection to flowers yet. Have we? I have no idea that's her. I don't feel like that's the how a CEO would necessarily be dressed. She looks like she works there to help with cleanup or something. She might not have been CEO yet. This was a story from... It's like the updated story from that one Sun, right? Chris Rafferty. Some woman he doesn't know, and they were in the office. That tells me that they weren't in China. And I don't know how much we've even heard of her going to the US. Was that part of her story at all? Not sure. Her nephew is a second in command, expected to take over when she retires. Her nephew, who is her son, if the invertro was true. Huh. I think this might be a red herring situation where they've, one way or the other, either the invertro never actually happened, and that's just a rumor or a connection you can make and think that it might have happened. In which case, her niece is the niece mentioned Shinyao's niece, which seemingly is Shinyu's daughter, is her real daughter, or she had a son, but that was the invertro, and so her sister raised him, but then he came back to China and kind of became her heir anyway. She's never mentioned to have a husband, has she? Might even be afraid to have a husband because maybe in some in some twisted way, they'd be like, and then he should own the company because of weird gender shit. Let's see, how much till I can lock somebody in? I have 2 people that aren't locked in yet over here. And then I have 2 here that might be right and might be wrong. Man, I made no progress last episode, did I? It just takes so long to dig through this guy's travel history. Oh, right, we know what your face is, because I just have this photo that I literally had opened a second ago. So we've known what Lang's face looks like. Which is another one. Lang Shinyu, CEO. I think that the IVF is a... red herring? A lot of this stuff is really dodgy about the timeline, but it might be that the IVF was a red herring in that it did happen. Maybe she genuinely did carry her sister's child for her, and it really is her sister's son. And we just need to discard the red herring of it being a rumor, because the thing is, there just is suddenly a niece. And then in order for Shinyao to have a niece, then Shinyu needed to have a child, as far as I can tell. I don't see any other place a niece comes from than from Shinyu. And that if that's the case, she has a daughter. So it's either she goes here, or she goes up here where she has 2 kids, because both of them would count. But then there's one of them is from the affair, and... is it listing one of them as being from the affair and one of them being from the spouse? I'm not sure what's going on there. But but I don't think this is the final affair, and also there's no mention of her having a spouse. Okay. Her name is... where did the music go? Langmin. Alright. Min... oh, tab doesn't work. Oh, it does. I hit caps lock by accident. That's Min Lang, and she's got to be a student. And she's going to the University of... oh! I guess we're locked in. Well, alrighty. There's Suarez, and Child, and Mom, and other people. A lot of optional photos. 25 out of 32. Where, I thought I counted them all and there's only 30. So I'm guessing the last 2 are in the envelope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's everybody? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Because we need Christine Farrell's photo. It's driving me crazy. Yep, so you're all locked in. This is all good. That's a brutal photo. She kind of looks like she's annoyed at him for coming back to him, coming back to her so many times to take more photos, doesn't she? Gonna ignore Christine Farrell for now and just try to unpack this. We need to figure out Sonia. We need to figure out who the fuck this is, which, who do we got? So we know who the Antonellis is. We know 5 pieces. Secretaries is vague. Deaf. Susan Ford. Sisely. Anonymom. I think those are our 3 candidates. There's something up with Susan Ford. And a big donation to her. It seems like there's a big donation to her school for the deaf. Sisely did Portrait of a Changed Man. And was supposed to write a book for Guy Hudson. So you might think that like they were involved in some way potentially. And then there's just Anonymom, which might be nothing because it's preemptively explained to you as being somebody who already freaking it's supposedly somebody that already was proven wrong. But then like what else do you do with this? I wrote Zach's secretaries were Juliet McCullen till blah blah blah, 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 blah. So Juliet McCullen, Joanna Robertson, Doris Mays, and Beth Knox, Linda Lewis and Angela Ingram were hired after all of Zach's secretaries were gone. But Anonymom stopped getting money when Guy died, so she must have been hired sooner. Lisa Lewis or Valerie Ewing, both hired in 1979, left in 1981. Right, because there was a witness to verify her story, which was the other secretary there at the same time. So, based on the available names, it feels like it has to be one of these 2. Of course, depending on if her story is real at all. But then what do we do with any of this? It's hard to say. Let's see here. Gotta keep mixing up all my tabs. This one, all right, this one then behind here, okay. Oh, the missing pages thing has one less thing for whatever reason. Still a bunch in here. The article about Sisely Sanchez. It seems that the used photos of Sisely did not own the publisher rights. Sisely Sanchez photos, maybe? Oh. Conspiracy? Cover up. Oh boy. What do I do with any of this? Okay, what was eDuke 828? Oh, the work that's the company that Cricket worked for. LBP? Oh, it's the baby photography. Yeah, I remember that now. That guy just really doesn't want to talk about his history as a photographer. And I don't know what to do with that. Cuba, humans. There's been so many documents in this expansion, holy shit. Picotee magazine. Wider variety of audience, many grocery stores and checkout line. Sensationalist headlines. Magic eye images, Red Bull. Can you look up Beanie Babies specifically? Oops. Stop. Why does it keep unhighlighting things? Okay. No. Even a Red Bull. Fiction alongside facts. All hearsay that's fit to print. I need to stop clicking on that. Just take a moment. Pay attention. Conspiracy theorists. Conspiracy theory. During your initial search, you came across Thomas Overwood's conspiracy page about the Roottrees. 8 months later, that page still exists and is thriving. The visitor counter has reached 7 digits. Many older articles have been replaced. It seems that the recent uprising in Roottree news has left Thomas Overwood with a constant stream of events to base new theories on. More than one of his theories involve Roottree deaths being faked. According to Overwood, statistically, when you have this many high-profile people who have died in a family, the odds that one of them faked their death... The odds are that one of them faked their death. It's just math. This newfound focus on death faking seems to coincide with a post mentioning that he's begun believing the guy's not dead. Hello. Okay. Where do I even put this one? Fuck, I don't know. Guy's not dead. New one. Who cares? Which reads as like a God's not dead type thing. In his own words, my eyes have been opened and all of this is beginning to make too much sense. One of his posts details the belief that Ron Roottree is still in charge. Gwyn Roottree's death was faked. Gwyn Roottree? The actor? Wait, wasn't she in a home? Didn't she have... Was she the one that had Alzheimer's? And that Clark is only there to throw people off. Throw people off on what? In what way? Ron Roottree is still in charge. Oh, from the schism. The Roottree rift. Right, because they love alliteration in this game. Ron Roottree was the leader for briefly alongside Clark, and then left, or was ousted. They think that Ron actually runs it. Apparently, this allowed Ron to travel to France to develop their new candy recipe in secret. Why would they do that? They already develop their candy recipes in secret, don't they? I don't think you get to have them anyway. The only record of their candy development is in the secret files that I have that you don't have access to. Another is about the rapper 5Ps. He can't possibly be a Roottree. One of his first album songs, when he was performing under the devil name, actually mentioned that he wanted to have sex with Raina. That doesn't mean he can't be a Roottree. That's just a Luke and Leia problem where they don't know their siblings. Not even Sam Manson is spared. According to Overwood, the author of Six Pieces isn't real. Sam Manson is an anagram of Am Madness. They're purposely leaving hints for us. Why would they do that? Why do conspiracy theories always think that the conspiracy people are going to leave hints that a child could solve that proves that they're up to something? It's like when you hack in a video game and you just play like Lights Out or some other child's game to hack the thing, and I'm like, why would their cybersecurity be like this? I don't understand. He claims that by using 6 pieces with Lauren Roottree's book as a one-time pad. What does that mean? Yeah. He has begun to decrypt the cipher. Most of the cipher has seemed meaningless, but he managed to pick up the words people and vastness and is working on figuring out what it means. There is also a request at the bottom. Next year, 2000, is a leap year, and Overwood's looking for funds and volunteers to catch the Rootrees red-handed on Operation RT29. He specifically mentions not to volunteer if you've ever drunk spirit cola, but doesn't go into why. Uh-huh. Alright. Insane nonsense. Let's find out. Oh my god, just highlight it, please. RT29 was here last time, apparently. This is about the special chemical, which is just an emulsifier. It makes you addicted to their candy, because chocolate isn't naturally addictive at all. Alright. Guy's not dead conspiracy. This happens so much. There's so many conspiracies that a member of a group is dead and replaced by an actor or a lookalike, or you have conspiracies that somebody was never dead in the first place. The Guy's Not Dead conspiracy stems from a website that focuses on clues that the Rootrees have supposedly hid all over the place. Why would they hide them? When you hide clues, you lock them away where they can't be seen by anyone forever. You don't make an ARG. That's fucking silly. This includes on candy wrappers and print advertisements and television commercials and their jingles, etc. This is exactly like the fucking Paul is dead conspiracy, where people think that Paul McCartney died decades ago and was replaced by a lookalike that pretends that he's Paul McCartney, which is just bizarre. And then they think that the Beatles themselves leave clues in their music, or left clues because they haven't been a band for ages. And 2 of them are dead now. Are 3 of them dead now? Ringo and Paul are both still alive, right? I don't remember. Not important. But I'm like, why would they leave clues? Like, what the fuck is the point? Just like, real life conspiracies aren't ARGs, you jackass. Let's see. The story, according to the website, is that Gary Hudson was a terrible president of the Roottree company. Guy Hudson, I don't know why I said Gary Hudson. And introduced multiple failed projects. True. Something needs to be done that would put the company immediately and instantly back in the favor of the consumers. So they killed off Guy Hudson and replaced him with a new president. This move immediately garnered sympathy, and the company recovered the next year, more popular than ever. The next president stayed much further out of the limelight, and some people even theorized that he was simply Guy Hudson in an elaborate disguise, which is why he stopped appearing in public. If he's not going to appear in public, then why does he need an elaborate disguise? The people who run the site are asking for help. They're certain that there's a clue to all this that accidentally leaked in a banned article of the magazine Picotee. On their page is a scan of the magazine's cover, the interview with the Sisely Sanchez about Guy Hudson, and some photos. You have to. Oh, we finally get the fucking article. Oh my god. We've been working for this. Oh, is it in here? Oh, they added pages. Oh. Let's look at the other stuff first. This photo is the first from a Hello. This photo is the first from a magazine interview with Sisely Sanchez and Picotee. The issue of Picotee magazine that came from was pulled from the shelves, but you managed to find online. Picotee does not label its individual photos. Both photos were instead under the shared label. Sisely was provided these photos by the Roottree company for use in our book. In the back of the photo, there is a Christmas tree. Okay. So he's clearly hitting on someone. Those two are sharing a look as if they were involved with each other, whereas in the background there's this guy. And there's suspiciously someone in the back of the photo, which we know from the past tends to mean that that person's important. Who do we have left that he's involved with? This could be Sonia, and that'd be Edson. That'd be interesting. We don't know who this is still. Could either of you be Christine Farrow? They look really similar in these photos. Not quite. Like, she looks kind of Hispanic and she looks kind of like she might be Chinese or something. But it's like not a lot to go on because it's painted people, and this is the worst angle to see someone's face from to interpret what they look like. And also, I'm just bad at that stuff in general. Just a real embarrassment. Let's see. Let's get back to, let's see. Oh, and we once again have somebody in the back of a photo. Okay. We have a blonde woman. And this is you and Zach. This is when you guys got started, basically. The photos from the is the first from a magazine interview with Sisely Sanchez and Picotee. The issue of Picotee magazine that it came from was pulled from the shelves, but you managed to find online. Picotee does not label as an so that's all. Okay. Well, it's these two having a handoff. These two are blonde. One of them's blonde. But they actually might have both had brown hair. This one's definitely brown hair. This one's maybe dirty blonde. It's hard to tell if it's like a lighting thing or not. But they definitely have different colored hair. What was Christine Farrow's deal again? Antonelli's, right? A caterer. Met at guys' parties. What is Christine's main name? Elizabeth's last name? So she was Christine Garland. 1977. What is the timeline here? Oh god, which document is it? There's so many. Why can't I see it? Oh, confidential. That one. Christine Farrow was hired. Zach will be retiring and Guy is taking over. They held a retirement party in 1978. She was hired in 1976, so she did work there. I think that's her. I think this is finally her. Because she worked there specifically when the party for handing over leadership happened, and she's holding champagne glasses there, so that's probably the party. Okay, I think I finally found Christine Farrow. It's funny they hit me with two different pictures where someone's just awkwardly standing in the back. I'm like, one of you matters, damn it. At least one of you is one of these characters I'm trying to find. And yeah, that's a very specific timing. Oh, they have Business Watch in the background. They framed it. Let's see. I guess we'll find out if this other person comes up. Hello, is that her? Wait. Where's the other one I was looking at? You. Mary Webb never worked for him, did he? Did she? I think that's different people. Let's read the expanded thing. This is an interview with Sisely Sanchez, an author. She was hired to write a book about Guy Hudson. You claim to have been paid a significant amount to write a book about one of the Rootrees, Guy Hudson. That's technically a way to read that, but what a stupid way to read that. Like I read it. Technically, that's how you would read it, being the end of the sentence. It was just a really stupid way to put it. Actually, well, we're pretty far in the episode. Actually, you know what? I'll do this next time, which maybe that'll be the next, maybe that'll be the last episode. I'm running out of things to fill in. Maybe I'll finally do it. Please let me finally do it. This is gonna be as long as the original series.